Hi, friends and relatives. Welcome to the final episode of this season. It has been an amazing, amazing time with our amazing, amazing co-hostess with the mostest, Carla. I know, I just made
like
that
that.
up. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I'm grateful. I'm excited. It's been such a fun season. Maybe our check-in question today could be like, what's one takeaway? 9 episodes down of this season.
I have gotten more comfortable doing this,
Yeah.
because like I just really I'd never done it before, and like I can do it. That's my takeaway. I just was like, yes, I said yes, I'll do it, and I did it, and here I am, and like I'm happy about that. I needed to do something new, so I think my takeaway is like remembering I can do something new and like add something to my life
And slay.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like my takeaway is like, I feel through the podcast, our friendship got stronger because we learned so much more about each other through this like public space. So I think my takeaway is you. Now you're in my top 3 on my cell phone.
I am so like I did. Yeah, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, like pinned.
Oh
that's
yeah.
Crazy.
Pinned.
Like I feel really honored. You feel
I
do.
There's only 3 spaces. The pin thing I had 9 for a while, and I was like, that's too many. And I'm like 3. I'm like, who do I text the most? Man, there's the 3. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm grateful for that.
Thank you. I'm grateful for our friendship growing too and getting to know you better.
We just start crying,
right?
What do you say for this final episode? We picked 2 each.
Okay. And see what happens. All right. Okay.
We're still sticking to our time, everyone.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
What would you do? Because we have so many topics. Like,
it's true.
That we went in here. Okay. We'll do, there's one.
Okay.
Okay. See, we'll pick one. And then I'm going to go back.
Okay.
Wait, let me actually read. I'm going to read the one that I got. I love that it says Oscars Awards. Not Oscar Awards. Oscars Awards.
This one just says division ?
Well, good thing we were doing 2 then. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, let's put that one back.
Okay. You're taking a long one. I'm taking a little one.
Yeah. Why are we so obsessed with celebrities?
Oh, I like that. And that goes with your
Oscars?
Other one. The struggle of being Anglo in Quebec. That goes with division.
That goes with division. Wow, look at that. Okay, let's go back through. Okay, so mine are Oscars Awards, not to be confused with Oscar Awards. Probably copyright issues, right?
Yeah.
But we all know what we're talking about. And why are we so obsessed with celebrities? What a great fucking question.
I like those. And division and the struggle of being Anglo in Quebec.
Oof. Where do you want to start?
Okay, how about I'm just going to start by like putting these 2 together because the struggle of being Anglo in Quebec is so tied to the concept of division between like the French and the English. And I know how we can tie this in.
I love it.
There's like Quebec celebrities that are such a separate like entity compared to like English, American, Canadian, whatever.
Yeah.
Celebrity culture. It's like I'll see a wall of celebrities who are like Quebec celebrities, and I'm like, I don't know who any of them are.
Did you ever see Célébrité, Big Brother?
I've never watched
Big
it.
Brother Celebrity Quebec. I've never seen. There's 2 people now that I know. Trena. And Coco. Coco, because just because Fred watches Big Brother Celebrity, but I'm like, yeah, you're right. There's a whole Anglo. Like people are like, oh, you know that influencer? There's Quebec influencers.
Yeah, right.
There is Quebec for anyone who's not a Quebecer. Like, we have The Voice. We have a World's Best Dance version called Dance Revolutions. Chanteau Masky, the Masked Singer. We have so much French media.
My TikTok is starting to give me WLW, like Women Love Women, lesbian Montrealers, which is kind of cool. Okay. I'm like, so there's like, and they're like pretty big accounts too. And I'm like, oh, okay, there's this whole side.
And for me, I don't know how you feel about this, but like when I think of like Sammy Landry, even though she's Acadie, from Acadian, like I think I really learn and love and respect French culture through Tatiana Lindano. She's like a real estate agent, but when she speaks like French, it's so English. It's so she's like way more fluent than I maybe will ever be in my lifetime.
Right.
Like, but it's so like vraiment cher,
Right.
vraiment cher, and I'm like, and I love her, and she's such an icon. And there's a show on Crave right now, realtor kind of show, and Fred really loves realty, so we watch it, and I just love how she speaks it. So, she's another example. I'm like, I really grow to love Quebec culture, and I really respect Quebec's media because, especially as a dancer, like. We don't get to be on live TV shows that you can do in the States here. We do get to be in film and TV when those productions come here, but live shows, like we don't really have those. Oh, we don't have we did Say the Geek Dance Canada for a few years and then it canceled.
Right.
We haven't brought that back.
Right,
so
right.
I respect this part of Quebec, and it's through that media that I get to appreciate it more.
It is nice that they do have that for opportunity, for opportunities and for culture. And I know going back to Trana, she has made a really big effort. I think she grew up here. She did. But she's still mostly Anglo, but she's branching into that. Like she's doing shows in French and she's participating in like Quebec shows and stuff like Big Brother and speaking French and like
and Traders season 3.
And Traders, yeah. And she talks
So good.
she talks about this sometimes as well, just like Quebec's kind of like little celebrity culture, and she's really in it, and it's nice to watch her, and I'm kind of like envious of her because like she's made the effort.
I remember when I first met her in real life because we like followed each other, and then I was like, oh, I just am obsessed with you.
back.
Yes, she followed me. When trying to follow me back, it was like a huge moment. I was so obsessed. I was like, oh, Trina knows I exist. And then Trina, like we were walking we went to like a dolls event, like a whole all trans show, and she was doing a comedy set, and then so like as we're walking, I was like, oh my god, is that Trina? And I'm like, I was like, hey, like I just like such a fangirl, but
She's
I just
so
really
nice.
respect her. What an iconic name,
Right?
And she does comedy. She speaks on pop culture. Like she's repping the dolls and repping them hard, but like also still in her way.
Yeah.
Right?
She's very much herself.
Yeah.
I saw her the first time, I think it was when she did with another person she used to do work with. I forget his name now. But she did like a Celine Dion show where they would dress in different like versions of Celine and lip sync and just like really, which is also so Quebec because Celine is famous worldwide, but she's also such a treasure of Quebec. And I know she kind of has like, people think, I don't know if they think she's kind of funny or something, but I love her. Yeah. We love her here. And it was like it's an homage to her. It was like, and also just sort of like having fun with Celine's fashion over the years and her quirkiness. And honestly, I think she's one of like, I don't know if you've seen like the Celine, like, why don't you take a kayak? It was when, where was that they had like the hurricanes in New Orleans, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
And
she
was
everywhere at this hurricane.
Yeah. She was very passionately upset. She's so genuine too. Like, she was so genuine and she was like, why don't they take a kayak and get them from the homes and stuff? It was like such a perfect Celine moment, but also why couldn't they?
Valid.
Like, couldn't they take a kayak?
Yeah.
So it was kind of this like, I don't know. Celine's one of a kind and she's charming. And
she's
like
Quebec.
Yeah, she's Quebec. She's Quebec. Like she had to learn English.
Yeah. And she's world famous.
She's famous. Yeah. Like, yeah.
And that's what I love. Like you only when you're here do you start to appreciate the parts of here. And I still think like when I see the division question mark, I think of like politically you still see a lot of division, especially when you look at like a federal elections, right? Like the Bloc Québécois has a strong presence, but you're also like they really fight for Quebec. And like I don't know, a lot of people I remember seeing growing up, every time you want to do a contest, it's like not in Quebec.
Exactly.
It excludes Quebec.
Yeah.
But then when I looked into it, I realized it's because we have like a consumer protection body that requires extra cost and requirements that actually protect you, the consumer, in Quebec. So most contests will be like, fuck it, I don't want to deal with that.
Right. Interesting. I was like, I wondered why that was.
And like if you think of like Uber, like we see all of the additional fees. I don't know if it's across every province, but I think that consumer, I think it was the consumer protection body or some body, they sued Uber, and like you have to be clear when you're upcharging our citizens.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So there's like politically there's like these things that I'm like, Quebec really looks out for Quebec, and
They do.
And there's a narrative, I think, from the rest of the world of like, oh, they're separatists, they don't want to be a part of Canada, and there are those.
Sure, and that was true.
Yeah.
And also
in 1990.
Yeah, but also what's interesting is like you have Alberta now doing that thing, and like Alberta and Quebec, I remember there's just this like this I don't know, like Alberta is always like, we're paying for Quebec, and like if you look into how your taxes work, like that's, you're not paying for me to drink beer. I don't drink beer, but you were never paying for me to drink beer. Yeah. But like now, like they're so similar in a sense. Yeah. Like I will say though that where Quebec's politics are going right now are a bit concerning, because they are sort of like provincially. Yeah. Like, I mean, we are not a fan of the racist laws, and 100%. Like there is sort of a protection for white Quebecer culture, and the language, but it's not a broad protection of language. It's French. It's not other indigenous languages that are actually at risk, this kind of thing.
And Canada doesn't grow without immigration. Canada doesn't exist 100% of the time. Yeah. Right. And so when you see like a diverse group, and again, going to like the Mamdani inauguration in New York, like every diversity was there and was engaged and excited. And it was so beautiful to see. And so I can respect actually the intention to secularize public systems. I can see taking the church out of it.
That's an old like legal thing anyways, like separation of church and state, just meaning that your religion doesn't get to like dominate. Yeah.
But then in this case, what we see is like specific harm against immigrants who are from certain faith groups who have visible displays of their religion. And that's where
they're using the idea in bad faith. Yeah. You know, like
to just make them uncomfortable.
Well, and also to prevent people from working in certain positions, because I don't think anyone wearing a cross around their neck has been fired.
Or having a fucking Hanukkah sticker at Hanukkah time. Like,
right.
Nobody's saying it, but technically these are religious symbols, right? And we don't say anything about these white Christian or Jewish faiths. And I'm like, no, that's not okay. And I think for Anglos in Quebec, you know, with the language laws, like you can legally not speak to me in English if you don't want to. You will not get in trouble if you refuse to speak to me in English. Which is like,
but that's a weird thing. How do we police any of this? Like if you like and.
But like, what happened? It's not to actually be. You can't enforce it. You're right. But what actually happens is like it's not designed to be really enforced. It's designed to make you so uncomfortable that you just leave. Right. And when we think of Alberta, the increasing or decreasing rights for trans people, it's like there's not really going to be enforcement. There was a doctor who was really like, you can come on the reserve if you're trans and want gender affirming care, you come to the reserve because we are outside of that jurisdiction and we'll offer it. So there's ways you can get through, but again, the idea is that socially we're trying to make you so uncomfortable, and I worry. I see that whether it's intentional or not, it feels uncomfortable. Yeah. And that's not a place people want to live. And I almost feel like it's an intentional way to just say, fuck it.
100%. Yeah. And also, but we see also where all of this rhetoric and all of these little steps are going on a global scale right now. And then you're taking away people's rights. But like going back to the language thing as well, like I understand wanting to preserve your culture. And so I kind of understand funding, you know, like media and like ways for Quebec culture to have their own shows. And Canadians, I also agree with that too. Like I like the CBC. I like supporting Canadians in a way to provide opportunities for Canadian artists.
And having Canadian artists, like remember Much Music and MTV? Yeah. That was beautiful.
It was amazing. Yeah. And then, but when it comes to like language, like there's ways to promote it and preserve it without like the way language actually works, like if we look at other countries like Europe, where it's so normal to have multiple languages just because you are surrounded by multiple languages. It's a very natural thing. And languages will evolve. And like English has become very dominant. I don't know if it's because of media, I don't know, you know, but
colonization is what.
Colonization, yeah. I mean, yeah, true. This is it.
The church spread English.
But like policing where kids go to school, what language they go to school in. Like there's certain things that are being done legally that aren't necessarily in line with how language actually works. Or like the thing too about like going to English school, what's kind of strange is like now it's this privilege that you can't access unless you have a parent who has whatever these criteria.
Even if you come here,
it's kind of backwards.
If you come from another province to Quebec, you can't get like an English language certificate, so you can't do school here. So then this basic right to education like is severed.
It's just weird. And like in Montreal especially, like my favorite model is the bilingual model. Honestly, I just kind of like them all really, like French immersion. But when I was in Calgary growing up, a lot of my friends went into French immersion. You could just choose to do that. And I know it's not the same. And you could
switch out, like you do full immersion, half partial.
Or you could do late immersion in grade 7, and that is effective, you know. Like there actually isn't one best way to learn a language.
But there is, I would argue, and I don't have facts to back this up, but I would say there is, when it is forced onto you, there is a way you understand the language that I can't see it being long-term helpful.
Well, and I have a friend who immigrated here as a teenager, and she was so resentful about it that she learned French. She's very smart. She did very well. But she basically like refuses to speak it. And like when I came here too, there was like a political element. And I remember trying to speak French at like the metro and buy a ticket. I said something, un billet. I might have said un bouteille. I don't know. But like I was like one. And like I was like, and I was saying like un billet, whatever. And he was like, un quoi? Un quoi? Un quoi? And I was like, what? Like, you know what I'm standing here for? One, like I'm just trying to get a ride on the metro. And then it was like other cultural things kind of around that. Just like I went to McGill and people being like, you're such an ungrateful whatever because you go to McGill. Like if I was happy, if I was sad, it was like you're so ungrateful. You have all this like there's just like all these weird attitudes coming. And it was closer to the time when there was a referendum. It was like 2000, right? So the referendum was fresher. And I just remember being like, no, thank you.
Not interested.
No, thank you. But now working in the English Montreal School Board, my French has gotten a lot better. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. But like my French has gotten better because I have to talk to teachers and I am enjoying it. But like, I think my point is going back to like both division and Anglo in Quebec is that like there are things the government is enforcing that are really unnecessary or trying to enforce or put in place that go against how language actually does just work and how people learn it. You can't learn a language fluently in 6 months. Like
it can't be forced.
I don't, and I also don't care who you are. You can't learn fluently in 6 months.
And you can't love. Like I love the way French sounds. I really love it. I really have grown to love and adore it. And it's a part of me to keep getting better and improving mon français. But I think the important thing is that like we get the opportunity to choose and we invest in not policing it to force, but in opportunities to engage with it in a really healthy way. And it's through the arts that I learned the most about the language. And speaking of the arts, why are we so obsessed with celebrities? Like that transition?
Glamour.
And the Oscars awards.
Yeah, and also glamour Oscars. Like we do love glamour.
Did you write the Oscar awards?
No, I think that was you.
Well, I wonder what it was. Was I kind of like critical of the Oscar awards?
I mean, probably. I don't know who watches them anymore.
Did Will Smith slap?
That was the Oscars. I think.
It was the Oscar, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. But like, award shows. I think if it was me, and because of the typo, it's probably more me.
It's all caps too.
And it's all caps, so probably more me. But if I'm talking about the Oscar awards, like I think I was like, it's kind of like. anyone in this moment could create anything they fucking want right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like your phone is a director. You can create and do. You can make a podcast. You could do anything you really want. You can tell your story and people will engage with it, and you could put it online. It's a really like actually empowering time when you think of like early Hollywood and film and how it was absorbed. You didn't have the same access that you do now.
Right.
When you think about it, it's really, really valuable. But then when you're an artist, things like the Oscar awards, it's like Oscars. Oh, that's
the
why.
Oscars.
The Oscars.
And you get an Oscar.
Oh.
But they call them the Academy Awards, really. Right? Aren't they the Academy Awards? But like you get an Oscar, but we say, are you watching the Oscars? And you get an Oscar.
Okay, but we never say the Oscars or Oscar Awards. We know it doesn't matter.
Yeah, probably not.
These prestigious, the Academy Awards, the Grammys, all these things. I'm like, just create art. Like why in a global world of billions of people, how many people are on the planet?
Oh, billions.
Billions. Like, why are we... I want to make music and I want to win an Oscar or I want to win an Emmy and I think it's okay to strive for those things, but I'm like, at the end of the day, there is this many categories, this many things, this many requirements.
I think as well when it comes to the Oscars awards, I think that because they're streamed on cable and they were like for a while less accessible, I think people in your generation, I will say, maybe more than my generation, but like there's been lower viewership of them. Like it's because people kind of are over it because also the decisions are being made by like old white guys and like
a committee.
The landscape has changed. Yeah. And like there aren't Oscars that like represent other categories. Anyway, I think people are a bit tired of them.
Yeah.
And I think that the presenters have been a bit like, it's been a bit hack, just like
they've been really critical in their speeches, which I appreciate. Like a way to resist. And that's, as I say, I'm like, just create art for the sake of art. And I think it's okay to aim high, you know?
It's okay to be excited if you win one for sure as well. Yeah.
But I think if you give your dream to some power outside of yourself, you really risk setting yourself up for a life of disappointment because there's some brilliant short film local filmmakers who make and film festivals, for example, even the local ones make some really brilliant movies and also some really bad ones. But I think that's what art is. Good or bad is subjective.
Well, also like when you're in, like I'm not really an artist, but I respect the process a lot, and I kind of feel like if an artist has to do something, they kind of have to do it, and then they go on to their next thing, and they take from
and try different things.
They're moving through it.
And think early pre-capitalism, right?
Yeah.
Like, again, human beings, we lived on this planet for many years without capitalism. It's a very new thing in comparison to how we lived on this land prior. Like you're just creating, you're just writing.
Yeah.
You're just drawing in the friggin' wall.
I'll do very silly little things. Like I have like secret things I do sometimes that I don't really tell people about. I told you one of them actually.
Which one?
I'll tell you after. But like they're so dumb, they're so harmless. Yeah. Like, and I think you're the only person who actually there's one other person who knows. But like,
because you said you weren't creative, and I was like, I have creative things you've created.
Yeah, exactly. And like, but it's in my way because I do prefer to do most of my work elsewhere, like, but sometimes I'm like, I just need this thing for me. It's to either spread some joy, like, just do something, and it's very silly, and it's kind of just for me to have a little memory of doing it sometimes too.
Yeah.
And like, it does spread joy because like I've witnessed it, and like people don't know it's me, and I'm like, I have a secret, which is fun.
Yeah.
I also wanted to go back to what you were saying though about like the Oscars and like why, like, how to set yourself up.
Yeah.
And do you know Robbie Hoffman? Because I need to shout her out too.
Of course.
Yeah. Robbie Hoffman. Yeah. We're talking about Trana. We're talking about Robbie. We're talking about Gabby.
And
because so we love all of them.
Yeah.
But Robbie, I think, was saying something similar where she, like, I think people are, maybe we're calling her like an overnight sensation, and she's like, no, I've been doing this step by step, you know? And she, I think, I don't want to put words in her mouth, but I'm pretty sure, if not, this is my understanding of her, is that she does things her way.
Yeah.
And it's so authentic, and it's like part of why I love her. It's unique, it's authentic, and she kind of does stick to that like goal of creating what she wants to create. I don't think she necessarily was working towards an Oscar. Yeah. But like I just love her art.
I love her art, and you send me videos all the time, and I'm like, you're such a brilliant comedian. And you're so, Robbie Hoffman is so relatable. And I think what I love about celebrities who are kind of where like Robbie Hoffman is, and why we're saying like why are we so obsessed with celebrities is like the Kim K thing is crazy to me. Like how much we know about her.
And I find her celebrity, that's too big.
Yeah. Although I did love the Skim store in New York. I did love it. It was a great store. And it's my favorite sweater. The Skim sweater. It's so good. I'm so mad. I
want to touch it.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it to you. Okay. It's so like, it fits so great. Kim, you really did good. And it's Fred who loves watching the Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And that's why I started to like.
Right.
And I do respect her like fight for the person who was on death row, for example, that she brought so much attention. Yeah. One episode, one of the sisters, there's like a chemical spill in the water, and one of the sisters shows up to the protest, which brings more media buzz to it. So like. Right. I can respect using their celebrity to like have positive impact.
Paris Hilton also does that about like the camps and like those like boot camps for kids or whatever. She's really.
I mean, the average person isn't in those boot camps, but you're right. She does.
Yeah, but she advocates for the people who also like. She's like, no, these were bad.
Yeah, and that's you can respect, but I think with Robbie Hoffman, it's like I like the in between celebrity where we're not. It's why I really appreciate like Connor and Hudson from Heated Rivalry, how they're very their boundaries are really clear, and other celebrities are also really clear on their boundaries of how they're showing up, because they did in a sense, they're not overnight sensations,
but they probably blew up
fast. Blew up fast. Yeah, exactly. That show went so big so quick. I remember like following Connor when like I think he had like 110K followers. Oh wow! And I think he's like almost at 2 million. As an example,
I didn't even know who he was before this.
You didn't even know. Yeah, you just watched it. So it's like I'm down to like I really love Kanye West's discography, for example, and he's a terrible person. Terrible person in society.
We're gonna be divided on that.
We're gonna be divided.
I also like.
You don't like the music though?
I do,
like
but
Through
like
the Wire was a game changer. Like old. I like old. Kanye.
I like the music, but I do have a hard time just because he's so problematic. But I mean, it is complicated. Like, why are we obsessed with celebrities? To me, there is a degree where it becomes really unhealthy. Yeah. But there's also like a degree where like, we love glamour or like admiration or like there is something exciting about it that's kind of normal. Yeah. And then there are some celebrities too, like Robbie. I just kind of like feel like she's cool and she's smart.
I feel like she could be here and we just like shoot the shit.
Right.
I think we'd be just crying.
And I'm like, I need more friends like Robbie. Like I need them to be funny and smart and like, because I don't know. I respect her realness, and I feel like there are things she's also said about relationships that I like too, where she's like, she'll talk about when she's like, you need to grow up. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, she's correct. And she just says it with such conviction because she knows it and she believes in, she also, I think, behaves accordingly. Anyway, we're kind of like running out of time, but I have a question for you. Yeah. Can we make it our like ending question?
Yeah.
Okay. My question is, do you want to be a celebrity?
Absolutely not. On the record, I was just talking about this, I think, with Fred like this week. And there was a time in my life I did. Mm-hmm. Like that was the goal. I wanted to be a celebrity. I want to be well respected. That's what I really want. Does that make sense? Like I love Audra Lorde. I love Leanne Simpson. Like there are these thinkers and people I really respect who aren't necessarily famous and we don't know everything about them, but they've made a clear impact and their work is really respected.
And they have a name. Like we know their name.
Yeah, we know their name. So I absolutely do want the name, but I want to always have like, and it's funny, people will be like, I tell so many stories about myself and people do know a lot about me, but there's still so many things that people don't know about. There's still stories that are my own that I keep. Which was like, really? I'm like, there's other parts to me. There's a part that's public and there's a part that isn't. And that's like something I think I would always do. So yeah, I don't want to be a celebrity. Do you?
I want nice clothes and like, I kind of like there's a part of me that likes the idea, but in reality, I'm an introvert and I want to stay home. I think I would really hate a lot of elements
what
of
Lindsay
it.
Lohan, like living in Dubai, like talks about how much she loves living in Dubai with her kid because it's illegal to have like paparazzi. And whereas in LA, she's always under the line. I mean, like the paparazzi treated her so terribly, and she was a young woman going through a really dysfunctional family, and then publicly and famous and money. Like it's messy, and then they're snapping pictures. Like that's crazy. So yeah, I think you lose your bit. I think you lose parts of yourself. Or Doja Cat, like kind of became an overnight sensation in a sense too, through the pandemic, and like she was around, of course, and had been working hard for many years, but she became mega quick and she went wild on like social media. She has the most fucked up, but now she's kind of embodied it as her personality. But I'm like, people are like, what's wrong with her? Is she mentally unwell? And I'm like, honestly, probably, because like overnight, that's
crazy.
You became a product, and everybody wants a piece of you, and everyone's looking into your past and who your parents are and who your parents' friends are, and trying to get a piece.
And everyone has an opinion, and like they're in your face.
Yeah, and everyone's commenting about you. Like it's insane. So no, I never want that. And even I love I love the Glorious Mess. I love it because it's kind of like a living archive for me. Of exploration, and it's not always clear, it's not always the perfectly most articulated, and I love writing, and it's my least popular thing in my life. Like I'll do a Jonas Brothers movie and everyone's like, oh my god, Arjun, that's so cool, I'm so excited, but I'm more excited about like the essay or a podcast episode. And it never does as well in engagement, but for me, I really see, I'm like, even if it's like 10 likes, I'm like 10 people liked that. That's cool. And I really like this, and that's cool. And I've really reframed that. So that's, I think, the thing I want to keep doing.
Yeah. That's how I like the conversation format. I like it for those same reasons.
Yeah.
It's fun.
We'll be back for many, many more seasons and many more glorious messes. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure having you, Carla, and such a dream, and to work at this new studio, and to have Chase behind the lens taking care of us, making sure we look good. It's been amazing. It's been fun, and it's been expensive.
And we're 1 minute over.
And with that, we'll see you next season. Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, and we'll see you next time. Stay messy.